Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about 1987 in Sixth Ward, Louisiana. And here's the house still under construction. We had pulled the trailer out of the house, and we took that space and poured a concrete slab with plumbing and all underneath it. And then we began the process of building walls and partitions and insulating and getting it all set up to be a house. This would eventually become the sliding glass door off of the breakfast nook area and the laundry area off of the kitchen to be able to go out onto the yard. And you can see it on the other side here on the right, and then all the windows we had in the kitchen, both upstairs and on the downstairs, to let a lot of the western light that came in. And then in the back where the study was, we had finished it up very quickly, and it served as the bedroom for Shannon, Margot, and I, as well as our kitchen and everything else. We lived in that room for a couple of weeks while we got the rest of the house ready. And here you can see looking into the master bedroom, through the bathroom and everything that could be. Then here's the trailer that used to be part of the house, and we just pulled it out. You can see where the door and the window were, and you can see where the door got ripped out when we were pulling it out. But again, here's the internal view looking towards the kitchen from the master bedroom area, and you're just looking through the whole house, which is going to eventually become a closet, 2 bathrooms, and then the girls' room were off to the left. And then here's what the kitchen area looks like with the windows and everything. We have the 2 big rooms on one side, and then here are the girls sleeping in the morning light in our bedroom when we were sleeping in the study, and my bed was right next to theirs. So we had a nice little cozy room. Very happy little girls. They enjoyed playing outside most of the summer. What was nice about this year was in 1985 I had gone to graduate school, and the first part of 86 I was in graduate school up in Hattiesburg, but got hired out by the Naval Research Lab down at Stennis Space Center, so I was able to move home and work, and then only 2 days a week did I have to drive all the way up to Hattiesburg to take classes to finish working on my master's. So anyway, we had a nice snow in March of that year, and again, it was nice to be home, to be able to put wood in the fireplace and keep the girls and all warm, because furnace was not installed in the house yet, and it was a good, nice, chilling snow that we had in March of that year, followed by a couple of days of below freezing temperature, so water in the surrounding area was freezing pretty well. So I'll let you look at some of these pictures of the snow and the water on the ground, and I'll be back for the next little part of this, so stay tuned. Now, I'll say this for snowfall in Sixth Ward, Louisiana. We don't get it that often. We rarely ever get freezing temperatures being that close to New Orleans and being that far in the deep south. So it's nice to have snow. It's not like what we get up here in Ohio now where I live. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about 1987 there. Again, working at the Stennis Space Center. The girls are going to school. We're having a great time. We're working on the house. We're getting their bedrooms all finished. And the house will be finished in the next couple of years, and we're going to continue our coverage on the work on the house. And, of course, we have my mom and my dad, Ma and Pa Roche, living right next door across the big yard, 300 feet away. So it's nice to have them. And my mom was out throwing snowballs with the girls. If you look up there, you can see the snowball in the loft. And then here's Margot. Let's see, 1987. She's 2 years old. Shannon's 4 years old. They're growing up fast. I mean, it's hard to think that here it is now. Shannon is 40 and Margot is 38, and they have their own lives around the country. So amazing how time flies. And then here's one of the deacons from our church, Brother Bernie, and he had a nice field full of snow, and his brother-in-law on the other side had a nice field of snow. So, I mean, the whole area got snow, so it was nice to see. Fun to have, and it was not enough snow that you could roll snowmen out of it. We put one on the car. It would be a good wet snow for making snowballs. So we had a lot of fun with that. The girls learned very quickly that you wanted to wear gloves when you were making snowballs because bare hands just won't do it. And then here you can see the addition being added on where the master bedroom was. And again, I had already come back from serving on the RMAS Newton in the 1987 fleet trials. So it was nice to be back home with the family again, wearing one of those T-shirts. And I still had not put on the weight that I had lost on the trip. But again, girls are having a great time playing in the snow, being fun girls at 2 and 4. What a joy they were to have. Now, our next door neighbor on the eastern side, Dr. Diamond, he had horses and there was a colt, so we could always give him an apple or pull some grass, and or when we mowed the yard to rake it up and throw it to the horses to eat nice fresh green grass for them. So we had those right next door for the girls to become familiar with and become acquainted with having some animals around. And then occasionally we would go over to the house and swim in the swimming pool at Dr. Diamond's. It was just a short walkway up from our house through the field. And then here we are on the screened in front porch, and Shannon's just having a good time playing with one of her bears. It would play songs when you press the mitts on it, Christmas songs. Again, very happy girl having a great time. So here's another picture of Shannon coming up, trying to look all pensive and everything. So I'm going to let you look at some more of these pictures of the girls, and I'll be back for the next topic for you. So please enjoy these pictures of Shannon Elise Roche and Margot Danielle Roche, 1987 in 6th Ward, Louisiana. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, I'd been hired out of graduate school. I was still attending part time now, not full time and teaching up there, but I got hired by the Naval Research Lab, and I was a contractor working in the ocean acoustics. And it was a lot of fun using all the mathematics and computer skills I had, basically Fortran on the Vaxes of the day. But we were in that Navy Mobile Building temporary, the NMBT-1 trailer, right next to one of the buildings at Stennis Space Center where the Naval Research Lab worked. At that time, it was Norda, Naval Oceanographic Research and Development Laboratory, and then it became NORAL as it merged with in Colorado, and then finally became Naval Research Lab as it merged with those in the Washington, D.C. area. And here's some pictures of folks in the trailer who I worked with, and we were all, again, contractors for a company called ODSI. Believe it or not, at once upon a time, we were told the name was classified, so can't tell you what ODSI stands for, even though it probably doesn't mean anything anymore. But anyway, some of the folks that I worked with, we had a wedding one weekend that everybody got to go to. Russell right there, not only a good computer programmer, but also a minister. And then he and Debbie would end up getting married. One of our secretaries in the main building. This is not out in MBT1. This is in the real building that is storm-proof and hurricane-proof. So anyway, here's the other one, George Frichter, who was in graduate school with us. George was a good physicist, again, working on ocean acoustics. And Jill, my wife at the time, mother of Shannon and Margot, in the front yard at Sixth Ward. So I'm going to let you look at these pictures of Jill, and we'll move on to the next topic. So stay tuned for some more fun. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is working at the Stennis Space Center. I met people at lunch that work for NASA, and of course, they'll invite you to the nighttime NASA shuttle engine burns. So I went out there one night with the girls, took my camera, and again, these are the engines from the space shuttle being tested in the test stands. This is test stand B1, I believe, and they're being tested at night at Stennis Space Center, run by NASA, and that's in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. So enjoy looking at these pictures of the space shuttle engine burn. I'll be back with you for the next topic. Now, I know I was kind of busy with going to school up in Hattiesburg 2 nights a week, part-time, and working for Norda at the time at the Stennis Space Center, but I was living at home, got to sleep in the same house with my daughters. It was a wonderful time, even though it was very busy, knocking out 2 masters, one in statistics and one in computer science. So a lot of fun with that and getting all ready to go. When I took my master's the following year in 1988, I'd be heading on to Tulane for PhD work. So enjoy these pictures of the girls. And again, these are all the pictures very close to Christmas time. This is at the end of 1987. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you found this look at 1987 for the Rochefort family in 6th Ward, Louisiana. Hope you found it useful and informative. Hope you enjoyed looking at some of the pictures. I'm sorry I wasn't a better photographer, but again, thanks for watching and have fun.